Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to replace my factory SeaDoo battery in my SeaDoo, which is already bad. This is 2024, with a upgraded NOCO Lithium battery. In a previous video I mentioned in the past I've never used lithium batteries because these generally cannot be jump started. So if you're out in the water listening to music, or you have some kind of load on your battery like a phone charger or whatever, and the engine's not running, so it's not generating electricity, at some point you'll drain the lithium battery to a point where you'll no longer be able to crank the engine, and if it actually gets too low, the BMS inside this battery will actually shut it off. So instead of putting out lower voltage like 11 volts or 10 volts or 9 volts, it'll just shut off completely and you won't get anything. And the problem with that is that a standard jump pack on like an AGM battery, it'll jump regardless. As long as that jump pack detects a voltage to turn on the jump pack. A lot of these lithium jump packs have safety features where if they don't detect any battery voltage at all, they just won't jump, which is how these become problematic, because if these get so dead that they don't put out any voltage, this thing will never detect it, and therefore you won't be able to jump start your ski. And then on top of that, some lithium batteries you just can't jump at all because, you know, there's concerns with arcing and stuff like that. However, the NOCO lineup can be jump started as long as you have a jump starter that has a override. And what I mean that there is, this jump pack has the standard safety features where when you turn it on to go jump a battery, if it doesn't detect any voltage from the battery you're trying to jump, it won't turn on. But if you hold on the override button, you'll hear the relay click, and now it's pumping out 12 volts. And I'll show you what that looks like with the meter here. But that's what you would need if you want to switch to a lithium battery and you want to have the backup or the redundancy of having a jump pack. Because when this thing dies and the BMS turns the battery off so it's not putting out any voltage at all, you're going to need that override to turn on the 12 volt feed in order to jump this battery. That's the only reason I've been holding off on doing a lithium upgrade. In general, I really like the way lithium works. This battery is painfully lightweight. I mean, you can easily lift this with 2 fingers. But they also last a lot longer than the AGM batteries. They have far more cranking capability, and they're just, you know, far more stable voltage-wise. So up until this point, I just had standard jump packs, and I picked up a NOCO because it does have that override. There is other jump packs that have the override. NOCO is not the only one that offers that. And then there's also some lithium power sport batteries that have a built-in override, which is kind of like a separate, has like a separate cell, or it has sanctioned like a reserve capacity or something. So if the battery shuts off, you can actually hold a button on the power sport battery to essentially jump it. So I'm going to swap this out. I'll show you the process and I'll do some testing with it. But first, I'm going to get this thing set up with the multimeter so I can show you what that override looks like. Alright, so I just have the probes connected to the clamps on the lithium jump pack. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this on now. So this is the regular jump mode, assuming I didn't have the override. And you can see it's not really putting out anything at all. There's some residual from, I think there's some capacitors in there. But 0.38 volts. So if you were trying to jump a lithium battery where the BMS turned the cells off and it's not putting out any voltage, and you connect a standard jump pack to it, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to jump anything. You need to have a jump pack with a override. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold this to turn on the override, and then you'll see that the voltage will shoot up. There we go. So now we're putting out just over 12 volts. So that's what I'm going to do here. I finally feel confident enough. I really like having lithium batteries. They can handle far more charge cycles. They're excellent. They don't sulfate if they're inactive. You can charge this to 98%, put it away for the winter, come back 4 years later, and it'll still be exactly where you left it. Plus I can get a little bit more, there's slightly more watt hours, so I can listen to my radio for slightly longer. All in all, I think they're, you know, a great improvement. So let's go ahead, we'll start the process. I'm going to get my old AGM battery out, and then we'll go ahead and get this connected. Alright, we'll get started here with the negative terminal. Now when I originally put this battery in, I put some dielectric grease on the retaining nut so it shouldn't slide out. But if you are doing this for the first time, there may not be any grease in there. So just be careful when you disconnect the lugs, because you don't want that retainer nut to fall out. Alright, that's the first. And we'll go ahead and get the positive out. Okay, get those out of the way. Get that out of the way. Alright, and now this is a part that a lot of people struggle on, and I'm going to show you a trick. You can either use long reach needle nose pliers to kind of get that tab out of the way, or I'm going to show you what I do, which is basically just spray some oil or grease or something on here and then just slide the harness out of the way. So let me just move this and let me go get some spray real quick. Okay, and now we're just going to slide this tab out of the way. And that's it. So it makes it super easy to get into. So let's go ahead and get this battery out. Alright, so we can see side by side the size difference between the two of these. NOCO does give you spacing adapters so that you can get the battery height just right. You don't have to use that, but your retaining strap is going to be loose if it's not the same height. You want it to be somewhat tight. So we'll just play around here and see. Let's say we'll go with one more. See how that looks. Yeah, and that's about the right height. So if you have a newer SeaDoo and you get the NLP20 Lithium battery from NOCO, you're going to need 2 spacers. If you are putting it into a ski or something that does not need spacers, you should use these foam pads. You would put this in the battery at the bottom of the battery box, just like that. There's another one here. That way this has something to sit on and it's not kind of just getting banged around or whatever. The battery itself is pretty secure, so realistically you don't need it, but if you're spending good money for a lithium battery upgrade, it makes no sense to use the foam pads that they give you. So let's go ahead, I'll put these spacers, mount them in, and then we'll go ahead and drop the battery into the battery bay. Alright, and then all I'm doing now is just reconnecting the terminals. Positive first, of course, just like you would in a car. I already did the positive here just to get it going, but we'll go ahead and do the negative terminal now. And everything is in there. Mine took a little bit longer than it normally would because I have extra terminals on the battery. I have negative for the surface mount charger that I have here, and then I also have the negative for the bilge pump that's routed in the back. If you have a factory ski, you're only going to have 1 terminal per lug, which makes it a little bit easier. But either way, it's not really a big deal. So now I'll just go ahead and wake this up, just to make sure we get power. Everything looks good. Let's boot it up. There we go. And no complaints from the SeaDoo. So looks like we are good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and get this connected and make sure that the charger switches over to lithium mode. that's all there is to it. So it's now going to charge up in lithium mode. You don't have to charge it in lithium mode. It's just the difference in charging technology between a standard AGM and a lithium is that lithiums like to be charged just a little bit higher in voltage than an AGM would. So if you were to charge a lithium battery in AGM mode, you probably only charge it up to about 75–80%. Whereas if you charge it in lithium mode and it puts out 14.5 volts or whatever it is, I'm not exactly sure what it is, you'll ensure that you're getting up to the full 100% on your charge. And that's pretty much all there is to it. The battery's charging up. Everything's good to go in there. It's all nice and tight. And, you know, there's a weight savings aspect to it, but we get rid of this massive ancient battery. We upgrade to lithium, super lightweight. And we have the jumping capability of the lithium NOCO jump pack. If you're unsure if you should be doing the lithium upgrade or not, I'll kind of break it down. There's pros and cons to lithium and AGM, and I went into the detail in another video. But realistically, the only benefit that you're going to have with a lithium is that it's going to last quite a bit longer. These AGMs, the recent ones, I've only been getting like a year, 2 max. In the past, when SeaDoo was pumping out when they were releasing the Yuasa batteries stock, they were lasting 3, 4, sometimes even 5 years. And it just seems like the quality of AGM batteries has been dropping over the years. Like I said, this is my second. I shouldn't have used a high shoot battery, but that's what the dealer gave me under warranty. So this is the second battery that I've been through, and this is only a 2024 model year. And of course, you know, I'm doing everything that you should be for maintaining the battery life, putting on a battery tender, making sure that it's temperature controlled, all that stuff. There are better AGM batteries out there. Deca, Yuasa, Moto. There's a whole lineup of them. But I've been wanting to try the lithiums for years because I've used them in other things. I have a motorcycle that I use a lithium in. The lithium batteries are they seem to be the way to go. And like I said earlier, the only thing that was stopping me from switching to lithium was that they were difficult to jump. You always had to be worried about whether you could jump them or not. Because the lithium batteries there's a circuit board on board. It's called the BMS, and sometimes it doesn't like to get jumped, or there could be, you know, the battery shuts itself off, whatever. But you know, the lithium batteries have evolved to a point where you can use jump packs as long as they have an override mode, or like I said earlier, you can find some lithium batteries that actually have a jump mode built in. It's just a little button on top of the battery that you would press, and that's kind of like a self-jumping. So if you're looking for a battery that lasts quite a bit longer, maybe one that has more stable voltage, or you want to listen to music more, and you want to try lithium, give it a shot. If not, there's absolutely nothing wrong with staying with AGM. Like I said, if you have to switch your AGM, just go with a decent one. Go with one that's been proven over years and years and years. Yuasa seems to be one of the big choices. So it's really just, it's up to you. There's no overwhelming benefit to lithium. There's also no overwhelming benefit to AGM. They're kind of different in their own ways, but personally, I just want something I know is going to last. And by the way, NOCO batteries are covered by a 5-year warranty. So if you do pick up a NOCO NLP20 for SeaDoo, just make sure you retain that serial number. It should say it on the box somewhere, because you have to register that warranty online, or you have to register the serial number to get that 5-year warranty. So that'll be nice. Now I know that I can ride this thing for 5 more years without needing to replace that battery. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.